Hey, greetings YouTube. No, I didn't go to Home Depot and rent this machine. This machine was left at my friend's repair shop, and apparently the guy had gotten it through a sale at Home Depot. I guess Home Depot sells the rentals off occasionally. I don't even see them renting this style of machine. It's quite actually old. So yeah, that's how this machine came to be. Now, the reason my friend contacted me is it's in decent condition for its age and being a rental machine. Like, the wheels aren't worn out, the cord's not run over, all these stickers seem to be intact. Now, this machine has already been taken apart and professionally diagnosed by one of the few people who I would trust their word on it. And we can see the pump is not in particularly good condition. It's a Model C Fort Kent. I can see that there's a badge up here. It's hard to get this whole thing in frame. I'm sorry about that, but it's fucking big. And I can either give you good small shots, or I can give you a big shot from a GoPro that's kind of crappy. I think you'll prefer this. So we got some wiring. All this has got quick connectors on it. It's all really nice the way this is put together, actually. We're going to remove the pump here. You can see the old pump is rusted out and crud. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove the lower hose. This will just give us more room to work with. This lower hose clamp, but you can remove it in whichever order you want. And if anything ever gets stuck on these, there's a handy tool called a heat gun. We'll just loosen that right up. You don't want to overdo it, of course, and melt something. But you can see that it just pulled right off afterwards. So now we got the motor, the pump right here. Now, I've read mixed things whether or not you need this diode, so we're gonna find out, and I'll include that in this video. Oh, you know what? That pulls off there. Now, these get brittle over time, so depending on how old your unit is, it may or may not be brittle. Here's the new pump. You can see it's not rusted and nasty. So what we'll have to do is reuse these tubings or get new tubings. Now, these were used with these press fit clamps, which I've seen before. We'll probably end up using hose clamps like this. And the best way to pull these off, actually, I have found over the years, is just to give them a tap with the screwdriver, and see, that pulls the barb off. Now, careful, this is all sharp sheet metal. But after that barb is off, you see the metal clamp just pulls off. And we don't need to worry about that. Dispose of that. Now we can pull this tubing off. Again, a little bit of heat's going to be our friend here. And this ought to just pull right off. That made a pleasing sound. So, yeah, again, we're going to repeat this process down here. We're going to pull this. Couple taps of the screwdriver. Again, gets this released. You can pull the clamp off. And if you have new tubing, by all means use that. I don't actually have this tubing, and again, a lot of things on this unit appear to be SAE. They don't appear to be a metric standard size, which, again, if you're working with normal tools in a shop, is going to be a little bit of a problem. So if you have your SAE tools handy, that's great, but for the rest of us, that's a problem. And you can see the way this hose was clamped on there, that the Swiss used metric, and the Americans just kind of shoved a hose on there. It's all right. For a carpet cleaner, doesn't need to be precise. So there we go. Then find your ground lead. Make sure you are putting this back in the same order of which you took it apart. Otherwise, you're not going to like that. And it sucks in water from the bottom because this whole body is the tank. And then it's pushing it into this quick disconnect, which then pushes it everywhere else. So that's your little hint in terms of doing that. All right. Oh, it looks like the pump end is wider than this end, so you will have to, again, do that. So let's get the pump on. The short hose, said, goes towards the bottom, and this will have been wobbled out from the barbs, so don't get those mixed up. You don't want it leaking. Just going to put that in place. Those are thicker than I thought they were. Just snug that up. Connect this. Now, for some reason, this doesn't work. We'll be taking the diode off this. I'm not sure if the new pump is going to need the diode or not. We're going to find out. And then the last bit to connect is the ground. Now, this was all zip tied out of the way, and we'll be doing that a little bit later. We're going to connect this hose here. It gives you an idea kind of how everything goes. So when everything's out of the way, it's all going to sit right there. And let's grab our connector here. Oh, there we go. I kind of feel like this will be better if we do it like this. More out of the way, it'll be more neat and uniformed, so we're going to do that. And these quick disconnects are very similar to what Rug Doctor uses. I would be very surprised if these aren't interchangeable. And then this, see, it just kind of goes on there. So when you put this on, just make sure it's kind of move around there. I want to mention in this stage of the game, you want to make sure that these hose clamps are moved out of the way so they fit on the cover. In this footage here, they're actually going to be rotated 90 degrees later when I put everything together. I realized that, so I just wanted to note that here as we're doing this, the hose clamps need to be moved 90 degrees. Also, the diode was necessary for operation, so hope that helps you if you're trying to assemble or fix one of these. And the last one of these was siliconed in place. I'm really not sure that's necessary with how this is all clamped together. Oh, and then like I said, if you want to grab a zip tie or something and get this all neatly busheled, you can. And there's a this piece kind of goes like so afterwards. Let's put the cover back on. Oh, by the way, this extra guy from the pump, it goes on that side. And all the hardware is really nicely put together on this machine in terms of the pairings. You got, you know, your lock washer and your regular washer all put together nicely. So when you're doing that, make sure you put all that stuff back. All right. You'll need to adjust this piece on here. Connect that. And there's a lot of play in this when you're doing this. If you can clean this with a toothbrush and some water, definitely do so. I did so. This looks much better. The seams really hold a lot of dirt. The filter for the tank that it's supposed to clean the dirty or clean water tank separation. Just want to clean this out as best we can. It's really a micro fine thing. And with them telling customers to use the dirty water to fill the clean water, which for the love of God don't do, definitely clean that out. All right. Well, let's test the machine out. Okay, we have a fill indicator right here. That's kind of cool. Right there. So let's see. It's going to be loud. Left the carpet really dry afterwards. There's probably no getting out the grease stains that are on this carpet, but hell, rather impressed. Well, I sure hope this has helped you repair one of these, or at least satisfied your curiosity with how these are made. They're super duty industrial, well made. Again, not the most modern of techniques. So if you got something out of this, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe, hit that bell notification to see our latest videos as they appear. Right now, we're going to ring that bell notification twice a week. Have yourself a wonderful day.